If you came to Vietnam on a tourist visa and you are planning to convert it to a work or a business visa, today's video is for you. If you're already back in your country and you wish to come to Vietnam with a tourist visa and later convert it, this video is for you. If a connection man or someone is promising to bring you to Vietnam, but the person is going to give you a tourist visa instead of a work or a business visa, and is telling you that later on it's going to change for you, this video is for you. And finally, if a school is promising to bring you to Vietnam, but they are telling you to come with a tourist visa and later they convert for you, this video is also for you. So this video is basically an escape route through a tourist visa to a business or a work visa. So essentially, if you plan of just swapping or changing your visa purpose from tourist visa to a work or business visa, then this video is for you. My name is Kwekus Kenya Branty. Welcome to the channel. If it's your first time, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. That is the only way you can motivate me to do more videos. So guys, let's get into the video. Now let's look at tourist visa in Vietnam. So in Vietnam, tourist visa is basically the kind of DL visa that you enter the country for touristic purposes. But can you convert it? Let's look at the laws, the Vietnamese laws, what they say about conversion of tourist visa to business or work visa. So according to the provisions of the law on exit, entry, transit, and residence of foreigners in Vietnam in 2014, it says that visas are not allowed to change purposes. According to Vietnam 2004 law, they say that visas are not allowed to change purposes. Visas are not allowed to change purposes. So in case a foreigner is holding a tourist visa and wants to convert it into a suitable visa for the purpose of working in Vietnam, the foreigner must exit Vietnam to come for the visa type, but not allowed to convert the same type of visa while in Vietnam. So the laws in Vietnam states it clearly, explicitly, that if you come to Vietnam with a tourist visa, you can change in Vietnam. You have to exit Vietnam. No matter what you do, you have to exit Vietnam. So that is the first point. But there is, however, people who can convert their tourist visa into work visa whilst in Vietnam. And I'll talk about that. Now, let me look at the sanctions for people who come to Vietnam with tourist visa and decide to work with the tourist visa. These are the sanctions that go for such people. So it says that the fact that foreigners only have a tourist visa but work in Vietnam can be administratively sanctioned with a fine of up to 25 million VND. And 25 million VND is it's a little over $1,000. A little over $1,000. And may be expelled from Vietnam due to the act of entering the country. So you can be expelled. You can be simple put. You can be how do you say it? You can be they can be deported. You can be deported. That is, if you are caught in Vietnam with a tourist visa but working, you can be deported. And how you can be caught is so simple. At times the police can just enter the schools. At times the police enter the schools. And if they find a foreigner, they'll just request for your TRs or your work permit. If you don't have, that's it. You are arrested. You are just arrested. And in Vietnam, once you are arrested, it's not a matter of they asking you to go for immigration lawyer, blah blah. No. Once you are arrested in Vietnam, they take you to a deportation camp, and then they take you to, they just apply their rules, and that's it. And the consequences there, you face it. And whilst they are investigating you, sometimes you can be held at a deportation camp. The deportation camp, they say you are not in prison, but you are not allowed to leave. And once your case is over and they want to deport you, you are going to pay for all overstay. If you overstay in the country whilst they were trying you, you are going to pay for all of that before they finally allow you to leave to or deport you to the country. So you can be deported in Vietnam, but you'll be in a deportation camp. That is what happens here. And it says that other activities in Vietnam without the permission of a competent Vietnamese authority, Article 17, Decree 167, which was promulgated in 2013, says that you can be fined or you can be deported. So that is the sanctions for working in Vietnam with a tourist visa. Now let's come to how or people who can convert their tourist visa to a work or a business visa. And when I'm done, I'll also talk about how you can still convert your tourist visa. That's the escape route I'm talking about. Now let's look at foreigners who are able, according to the Vietnamese law, to be able to convert their work visa, their tourist visa into work or business visa. Number one is foreigners being invited or guaranteed to work by an agency or organization in Vietnam. So that's number one. If you are invited, if a company decides to invite you and then the company gives you a business, okay, so let me explain it well. So foreigners who can convert their tourist visa into work visas are individuals who have been invited by a company. Let's say let's take a school for instance, a school wants to invite you, and the school have started working on your work permit. And let's say there is a problem with your what do you call it, with your visa, getting it from the immigration, and so they ask you, okay, come with a tourist visa, and you come with a tourist visa. Now, because they've already applied to the various agencies, they are already even working on your work permit. They ask you to come on a tourist visa. It makes sense. So once you come to Vietnam, your TLC or your what do you call it? Your TLC or your work permit is in the process. They just go for a receipt that your work permit is in the process, and they can convert from tourist visa into a business visa. That is point number one. People who the laws allow to convert from tourist visa to a work visa. You are invited, but due to one or two things, you couldn't get your visa or your invitation letter. You can come with a tourist visa, and whilst your work permit and your TLC is being processed, they have it done for you. So that is number one. Number two is there's a organization that have a work permit or a work permit exemption. People who have work permit exemption in accordance with the labor code. So people who have work permit exemptions are people who are, number one, investors, who have invested in huge businesses and organizations in Vietnam. They are mostly given work permit exemptions. That's number one. And number two is people who get married to Vietnamese ladies. If you marry a Vietnamese lady, you get a work permit exemption to work in Vietnam. You get a work permit exemption to work in Vietnam. And that is subject to 5 years renewal. In every 5 years, you go and renew that. Both your visa to stay in Vietnam and your work permit, everything. You get a work permit exemption if you are married to a Vietnamese lady. And that is on condition that you continue to marry the lady. Every 5 years, you go for renewal. Once you divorce the lady, or once the marriage hits the rocks, they won't renew for you again. Because I've heard instances of people who had that exemption, but then they went to renew it after 5 years, and they told them that one of the guys said that the wife, the people said the wife had grew fat, become very, you know, Vietnamese are very slim, beautiful lips, slim. So if you allow your wife to become chubby, fat when she wasn't fat, part of the world, if you become fat, it's a sign of peace. And people tell you that, oh, what's my joke, Papa? You are having a lot of peace, you are having good life, that's why you've become fat or you've become chubby. But in Vietnam, if you become fat, they don't see it like that. So if you are married and you don't take good care of your wife, you allow your wife to be chubby, or if your wife is not happy, or if they notice anything, like a friend, for instance, going to renew, he was given 2 years instead of 5 years. And so he wanted to find out the reason. They told him they spotted some things with the lady, so he should wait. They are observing. So if they observe and everything went well, they can give you the extra 3 years. If it doesn't, they will just withdraw their permit, and then you have to apply or go back to your country. So that's it. People who are married to Vietnamese ladies, and investors and business tycoons and lawyers who have relocated to Vietnam, or people who are working with or for the government, those people are mostly given those exemptions. So that is it. And then next one is foreigners entering Vietnam for tourism purposes with an e-visa and have a work permit or a work permit exemption in accordance with the labor code. So that is exactly what I mentioned, I just explained. So in fact, 2 or 3 people are allowed to get convert their tourist visa to work permit in Vietnam. And another thing too is, if you are from the 80 countries who are allowed to come to Vietnam visa free, those people too, is a bit easier to convert it. It's not simple, but if you, for instance, you are from Canada, you're from America, you're from all those countries, it can be done for you, but it's not easy. That in itself is not easy, but it can be done for. But if you come from any of the African countries, forget about it. It's not possible. It's not possible. I'm being very honest. If you come from Ghana, Nigeria, all those African countries, all those African countries, you know what I'm talking about. Forget it. It's practically, you can come with a tourist visa and convert it. Now, even currently, we even have issues. I mean, a friend, I would like to post it here. So a friend who has worked here for 5 years said he applied to renew, change his company. They asked him to exit, go out of the country and come back. And one person was also saying that Ghanaians and Nigerians now have a red alert. Yes, they have immigration red alert. This is not confirmed. This is just a hearsay. So let me put it that way. Let's treat it as a hearsay. But that's what they are saying. Ghanaians and Nigerians are having red list. They are on red list, yes, visa red list. And so if you come in and you try to convert it, it's going to be wahala for you. And to add salt to injury, there were a lot of people too who are here who are unable to renew their visa or even get out because they have to pay for their overstay in Vietnam. So let me address this quickly. If any agent promises you that you're going to come to Vietnam on a tourist visa and later they will convert it to a business or a work visa, that agent is just lying to you. It's just technically lying to you. It's not true. It's never true. Take it from me. I'm saying it's never true. Nobody can convert your tourist visa into work and business visa. I know the research I've made. I know the people I've spoken to. It's not possible. Number 2, I've heard that some schools have also started inviting teachers, and they're asking the teachers to come with a tourist visa. Now, this is what some of the schools are doing. There's a window. Once you come in Vietnam with a tourist visa, as a 3-month tourist visa, they allow you to work, and after 3 months, they'll find a way to push you off or push you away. Or let's say if they are not satisfied with your teaching skills, they'll push you away. Others too, what they do is that once they bring you, they'll find a way to owe you. And don't forget, Vietnam, you are paid on the middle of the next month. So if you work for this month, like December, you're going to get salary for January 15th. That's what you're going to get a salary for. So you always be owing them. They'll always be owing you. And if you're not careful, they'll ask you to go for visa run and they won't do it for you. That's what some schools have reportedly been doing. So if a school tells you to come with an e-visa, be very careful. Conduct your research, like ask a lot of questions. Ask them, why don't they send you the business visa directly. So tell them that you can wait. It's better to wait in Ghana for them to go through all the process to get a business visa for you to come, rather than come on a tourist visa and later get stranded. You are asked to go for on visa run, and now you have to spend money on flight ticket again out of Vietnam, and then spend money to go and stay in somebody's country, and then later spend another money to come back. And now in most cases, you go for visa run and the country will not allow you, and you will return back to Ghana. There are several people who have gone to on visa run to Laos, Cambodia, even India, even India, and they don't open their doors to them because they realize that you don't have money on you. They realize you don't have enough funds on you. If you don't show enough proof of funds, at least $1,500, $2,000, the least $1,000, they will never allow you. They realize you don't have money to spend. You don't have money to spend. They will never allow you to enter their country. And severally, like a lot of people gone for visa run and they didn't allow them and they went back. At least I know of 2 people who were not allowed. One from Zimbabwe or so, and another guy from Ghana, and then another guy I know too from Nigeria. All these guys just went on visa run, but they ended up in Ghana. So it's a very delicate situation. If you are coming to Vietnam on a tourist visa, be extra careful. It's always let them take as long as the school, let them take as long as they want. Provided they can get to the business visa, then you travel with that. That is the best. That is so secure. Like, you are secured if you do that. But if you don't do that, you're going to be in trouble. So that's another one. And then people have also started promising people of other jobs. Telling people, oh, you can come and be a carpenter in Vietnam. You can come and be a mason. Oh, you can come and be a mechanic. Oh, you can come and do housework. Be informed. Be informed. Be informed that there is no carpentry job in Vietnam. There is no masonry job in Vietnam. There is no, I've done a video of can you hustle in Vietnam? I'll pin that video. You can watch that video. You cannot do any of that job. And I've heard some people advertise that you can do delivery job. You can't. It's impossible. The language barrier in Vietnam is so huge that it's very difficult for you to do other jobs. And those jobs are reserved for the indigenous, for the local people. They run those jobs. The indigenous do that. And very few of Vietnamese speak English. And so hardly can you do that, you know. And another thing too is that even if you get such jobs, the salary is very meager, like it's very small. The salary is nothing good to write home about. I'm being very honest. I'm being very honest with you. The only job that pays and pays well is teaching job in Vietnam, and that is the job that most foreigners are doing. If you see any foreigner here doing other job, maybe that job is a part-time. Most of them do part-time with other jobs, like most of them are DJs, most of them are the barbers, most of them they braid hair, so most of them they cook, but they are all side gigs. You can't do that as your full-time job. Exactly, that's the situation. And so if anybody promises you any job, if you don't believe me, make your research well before you agree. If you don't believe me, I'm being very honest with my YouTube channel. Anything I say on my YouTube channel are things that I have gone through, things that I have experienced, things that I have practical hands-on experience. That is what I talk about. I don't just speculate, or I don't just say what people tell me or what I hear. You know, if it's what I heard, I'll tell you that I heard this. I won't tell you that I am saying this. I'm telling you, there is no job in Vietnam apart from this. So that's it. And I've also heard that people have started redirecting people that, okay, we're going to take you to Canada, but we'll take you to Vietnam first. They're just deceiving you. They are deceiving you. There are people here who are stranded. They promise them to take them to America. They come here and they get stranded. Before you can travel out of Vietnam here, in fact, if you want to go to America and you are finding it difficult, like I heard that in Ghana right now, to get American date is around 2025 before you can get an interview date. Vietnam, there are a number of dates here. you can get, that is easy. But provided you have your TLC and your work permit. If you have your TLC and your work permit, it's so easy to go to any country you want, and you have money. It's so easy. But if you don't have work permit, TLC, and anybody is telling you that, okay, I'm going to take you to America, but I'll go to Vietnam for 1 month and then I'll work, it's a lie. It's a lie. It's a lie. Palpable falsehood. So please, let's take note of that. So enough with that. Enough with that. I think I've exhausted that. Now let's come to how you can change your tourist visa to a work or business visa. I've already told you that it's not possible to do it here. So if you plan to get that, maybe you've applied to several schools, you're not getting the schools are not picking you. So now you want to come with the e-visa, take advantage, because the e-visa is just $25. Don't let anybody take $100, $150, $2,000 from you. Don't let anyone. Do it yourself. If you think it's so difficult, we will help you out. So after you get that and you get to Vietnam, now if you are doing that, make sure you are going to come with a lot of money, because where you sleep, what you eat, and then you try to go around and see. So make sure you come with some money, because you are coming to explore. Now once you explore, make sure you come on. There's a time that a lot of teaching windows open. Like last year, I gave out a lot of schools that were recruiting on my channel. You can check my channel. That time, so this time now, if you come here, you are likely not to find a job. You are likely not to find a job if you come to Vietnam in this time or this current time, because this time, first time is almost going to an end, and we're going to continue with the second term. So this is the time any serious school already has teachers. Any serious school already has got enough teachers. Maybe the few ones are those, maybe for 1 or 2 reasons, the teacher is going back, the teacher has got a problem, the teacher has left, and they need to replace. Those are just one out of the odd. But in January, February, March, April, May, yes, May, June, July. So July, August, September. That is when the major recruitment happens in Vietnam. July, August, September. So the school year starts from September. So from July and August is a serious recruitment. It's serious. Every school is looking for teachers. During that time, I'll make a video and I'll be posting job offers. That is when you can come to Vietnam with the e-visa. That I can promise you that even with 1 month e-visa, you can get a school to sponsor you. With 1 month e-visa, you can get a school to sponsor you. But right now, if you come, you're going to miss the ball and miss the man. Yeah. So if you wish to come, wait for that time to come, book your register for your e-visa, $25, and book your flight and come. Prepare your accommodation and come and stay. When you come, you pay for the accommodation or hotel. Don't come and say you want to stay with me. No, you can't stay with me unless you are a lady. If you're a lady, I can accommodate you. If you're a lady, I can accommodate you. Yeah, I have just 1 bed. So if you're a lady, I can accommodate you. Yeah. So provided you can sleep with my bed, I don't have a problem. But for men, no, I beg, I can't accommodate you. So that's just by the by. And when you come, and then now, when you find a school that is interested in you, now make sure that any school that you find, you go through an interview and they check your document. Now, before coming, make sure you have all these documents legalized. Your C1, your TEFL certificate, and your university certificate. At least these 3 documents. Come with a police report, also legalized. Or if the police report, you can also do some here. And one more thing, the medical check report. That one too you can do here. But the 3 most important documents: your C1, your TEFL, and your university certificate. Make sure at least these 3 certificates are legalized in your country, Home Affairs, and the Vietnamese embassy. Make sure you have those ones. Make sure you have everything intact, and a letter that shows that you've taught in your school or whatever in your country. Also legalized if possible, and then bring those documents with you. Keep it very well, so that the moment you get a school, the school can start with the process. Now, once you find a school, what you do is, that's what I'm saying, you come with enough money. And then you go out on visa run. You can go to Laos, you can go to Singapore, you can go to Malaysia, you can go to Thailand, you can go to India. But all these countries, if you don't show proof of funds, a lot of money, they won't allow you entry into their country. If you don't show a lot of money, they won't allow you. But once you show a lot of money, they will allow you. So once you have this, and then now you stay there for a week, 2 weeks, then your company is going to invite you back into Vietnam by sending you the invitation letter. And now you can now come and work with your company peacefully without any troubles. If you don't go through this process I'm talking about and you use any alternative route, you're going to be exposed at the end. You're going to have troubles at the end. Currently or recently, a lot of people are facing a lot of troubles. People who paid money. These people paid money. Some of them paid $3,000, $2,500. They ended up being in trouble. Either the company they came with was a shell company. Recently, there was a company that had a lot of Africans under them. Now the company has been closed down, and so all those under them are supposed to be deported or find a new school. And come and see how people are suffering, left, right, center, front in Vietnam. People are really suffering. These are people who paid $3,000, $3,500, $2,500, and they are suffering at the end. Some of them have paid all the money they made. They've used it to settle debt, paid for police this, police that. So if you really want to be caught in that web, it's your own cup of tea. But some of us who came without virtually paying nothing, we waited, we took our time, we made research, we searched for schools on Facebook, on LinkedIn, on other places. We go to schools, spoke to the schools. They interviewed us back home. We even did demo lessons back home. We tried our best, and then they finally sent out an invitation letter. I just drove from Ghana. I came, they picked me from the airport straight to my hotel. It was a Saturday. Sunday, Monday, I started work. Same with those I did for. Those who agreed to use the same process. They're also teaching here safely. If you don't do that and you want the cheapest way, what are the cheapest way? People offering you employment at the expense of you paying money, $2,500, $3,500, too. People offering you employment without checking your certificate, your qualification. They don't check your certificate. They don't check your qualification. They don't care. Oh, don't worry. All you have to do is just pay the money. I'll do everything for you. If it doesn't expose you now, it will expose you later on. So these are some of the things that you need to take care of. So guys, let me end here. I wish you all have a very good country to work and teach abroad. It may not necessarily be Vietnam, it can be other countries, but I just wish the best for you. My name is Kwekus Kenya Branti. Don't forget to like, comment, and share the video. It's a bye for today.